Hey everyone, welcome. I don't know about you, but it's hot summer days when we end up riding our bikes quite a bit more, most of the time at night. And in the last few years, I've introduced to you all kind of lights that we've been using. The last couple of seasons though, I uncovered a couple of needs not addressed by my current crop of lights. And that's why I have in front of you guys today two new lights. One is the EVO 1700, the other one is the ALLTY 2500S. Let's see what they bring to the table. And the number one feature that I was after was replaceable batteries, something that we haven't had since we were using AA batteries for our front lights. I have an older video showing you guys how to replace the batteries on one of these older Design lights, but usually doing that is kind of hard because you can't really find the batteries that would fit. In this case, as you can see, all you need is a coin, not to mention that you can have multiple batteries with you in case of a 24-hour race or something like that. And the second feature that I was after was an under the bar light, something that this EVO 1700 is providing. That is specifically for my road/gravel bike. I found myself struggling when I put above the bar lights on it because I can't really find room on the top of the bars. But with that being said, why don't we look at these two lights and see what you're actually gonna get when you order them. These are the new crop of lights that differ slightly from their old packaging. You can see the product picture right on it. Right here you have the 2-year warranty. That'll be true for both. Some sort of a serial number here at the end. And if you look on the box, you're gonna get more details. Both of these lights are using an USB-C connector to charge. They're water resistant. And here you're gonna see the light intensity provided. If you look here at the back of the EVO 1700, you get some idea of how much runtime you're gonna get. EVO is 1700 lumens and can use a wireless remote. This guy here, as the name implies, is 2500 lumens and it can also use that wireless remote that I'm gonna show you in a second. These are made by Magicshine in China. Inside the box of this 2500S, you're gonna see the light, which has quite a few modern features in it. A bit more about that in a second. You see that bar mount right next to it, and at the bottom you're gonna have charging cable, which is USB-C. You don't get the charger, but you can use any standard phone charger for that. You have different strap lengths for this over the bar mount, which, by the way, this is quarter turn and Garmin compatible. And also at the bottom you're gonna get a tiny manual. This is the wireless remote they are talking about, and you have a hex key because you're gonna need this to tighten the strap on the bar. That little wireless remote, it's already paired with the light itself. You only have to remove this little tab here that keeps the battery isolated. However, this is not really for mountain biking because you only have that rubber back on the remote itself. It would just slip on a mountain bike handlebar. However, this should work just okay for gravel or road bikes where you have the handlebar already taped. However, I'm not sure you really need that because this ALLTY, just like all their B lights, is Bluetooth enabled. I will show you what that means in a second. The light body is made out of aluminum and you have this big lens up front because this is a bit of a hybrid light. You can have this as a daytime running light with these two at the bottom, the two extra LEDs, as more of a floodlight or focus light depending on how you set it up. Up top you have a button, and believe it or not, this is an OLED display. If I just press on this, it's going to show me how much battery is left. And as you saw earlier, here in the back you have this rubber plug covering the charging port, but the charging port actually belongs to the battery itself, so you can charge the battery separately even when out of the light. This is 7.2 volts and 3500 milliamps, and you can buy this separately from their website. Compared to their Ray line of lights that look more like mountain bike specific, this has the fancier LED screen here, and also you have that hybrid lens and the extra daylight running light, which in any case makes this more versatile. Again, not mentioning the ability to replace the battery or have extra batteries with you when riding. So hands down, this is a step forward from the Ray 2600s that we've used before. And if the weight and size of the 1700 are clearly stated here on the back, 150 grams, for the ALLTY 2500, here we go, 192 grams. And if I add this, because you're going to need that strap, 208 grams with the battery installed. Obviously, if you're wondering about the battery by itself, here it goes. Battery is 118 grams all by itself. This light is also compatible with their helmet mount that looks just like this, but I would argue that this is a bit too heavy for that. An ALLTY 1000 like this tiny would be much better suited just to sit on your helmet if you want to use a double light. And yes, I'm excited about finding this front light with a removable battery, but I have to admit that I am equally excited about this little EVO 1700. And no, that is not because it comes in two colors. You see the white version here, it comes in black as well, but because it provides a lot of versatility, especially if you are using something like this BMW the Coast stem, because this stem comes by default with, this is a GoPro mount, and this little guy under the bar uses a GoPro mounting as well. So I could actually simplify the installation and have everything look nice and tidy. Also, the features of this light are pretty cool, definitely for the intended audience. I would say more road than gravel, even though you can use it for gravel as well. You can see the design here with that big mama lens that looks like a proper headlight. It provides you with high beam, low beam, and a cutoff line, just like the car headlights would have. In the box, you're gonna find that same USB-C cable for charging the light. You're gonna have, look at that, that's a full mount for the light itself. You get the tiny remote as well. You have a manual mentioning the app here on the cover. More about that in a second. Here's the light itself. I mentioned to you that they have a black version as well as a white version. And on this white one, you can see clearly where the battery is here at the back of the unit. This is not removable. On the left side here, you have a little LED or a button telling you whether the battery is charged or not. And on the other side, you peel this off, and this is where the charging port is. GoPro mount, like I mentioned earlier, if you press here underneath, you can actually remove this. This is made out of plastic. I assume if it ever breaks, you can replace it easily. You also get this full mount. Obviously, they cannot rely on people using the PNW stems only. This is Garmin compatible, like I mentioned, and you see here at the bottom the installation tabs for GoPro. Also in this accessories bag, you have two rubber bands, and you have a tightening bolt for your GoPro installation mount. The wireless remote is identical with the one provided with the ALLTY. This is the same. You get that same Velcro strap, and remember, you have to remove that insulating piece of plastic before you can use it. From a functionality standpoint, both of these lights are identical, in which you just use that power button and a long press. It will either turn them on or off. So again, about 3 seconds press. However, if you do a double click, it's gonna just move them from one mode to another. And in that specific mode, then you continue to press on that same button and you're gonna scroll through the low, medium, and high intensity beam for the headlight. However, both of these lights are Bluetooth enabled, and that means that they can use the Magicshine app. Like with any app these days, Magicshine is available in the App Store and Google Play. And once you start the application, you're gonna have the option to add new devices. You can see them listed in here fairly clearly. And once inside, you can add these profiles, and that gives you access to a multitude of other modes. You can see those different flashing lights for my Alti. Also, you can vary here the intensity, not only from low, medium, and high, but from 0 to 100. So again, more functionality uncovered by the app itself. And specifically for the Alti, you have here a couple of sensors that can be enabled. One of them, I'm pretty sure, is the motion sensor installed in here. This guy, if not used for 5 minutes, will turn off just to save battery. Again, the functionality, the sensor functionality, is only available through the app. So once again, the app is there, but you don't really have to use it with these lights. You have that little wireless remote. You don't have to use that either. You can just use the buttons on the units themselves. However, this app in particular will give you access to additional features. So I would recommend at least you install it and start it up once, see what it is about. When it comes to installing these lights, I'm not gonna bother you with this. Again, it's quarter turn, Garmin, or this is a GoPro mount, so very easy to install. If you're using this with the PNW stem, expect to get an extender for that GoPro mount just to give you more flexibility on the angle of the light, or just install it with the provided mount from Magicshine. This can accommodate the various handlebar thicknesses available in the market today for road, gravel, and mountain bike. In use, these lights perform very well. I've used the 1700 mostly on the road, and that cutoff line actually makes a difference, controlling the spread of the light very well. But that also means that if you take this light for a gravel ride, you might be missing a bit of that peripheral vision spread of a light like this one, the ALLTY 2500. We've used this one on the trails and is plenty powerful, and going through the different modes is close to impossible not to find one that will satisfy you regardless of the riding that you do. So what do you guys think about these two lights? Are you as excited about the ALLTY with the removable battery and the 1700 that can be installed under the bar, specifically with the PNW stem? Let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions. Take a look at the description. I might have a little discount code for you folks. And until next time, hope to see you folks on the trails. Why not using some Magicshine lights? Take care, guys. See you next time. Cheers.